Hey food lovers, welcome back to my channel Naked Fusion. To my existing subscribers, thanks for always being here. If you're new to this channel, it's all about bringing bold flavors, simple meals, global fusions, and fun food experiment. So hit the subscribe button to get notified every time we upload a new dish. Let's dive into today's dish. Today we're making Ogbono soup. Some people call it Abolo, some people call it Ogbono soup, but I call it Ogbono soup. And I'm using some cow beef, some tripe, some okra, some blended obolo, some crayfish, some palm oil, some aromatics, onions, ginger, garlic, some dried bonga fish, and some otezi leaf. Now, these are optional. You don't have to use otezi leaf. You don't have to use okra. You can make your obolo plain, but today I'm making it with a mix of okra, and you would see how I have made mine. I do not like plain obolo, so I'm not even a swallow person. However, just to make me enjoy this dish, I had to put my obolo. So I've sliced up my aromatics and I've put them into a blender, and I'm going to blend that into a smooth paste and then use that to steam my proteins. The reason why I'm not slicing and putting it in is because I do not want to have to sieve that out at the end of the cooking. I want to make sure I get all the flavors into my soup. So I'm going to not use the sliced ones. But if you want to slice your onions and just use it to boil your meat, your aromatics, and just boil the meat, that's fine. And then you can just sieve it out. I do not want to do that. Once I'm done blending the peppers, I'm using yellow pepper, and there is a reason for this. This pepper enhances your dish. I promise you, you should try and use it. It enhances your dish. So once I'm done blending that pepper, I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to add onion and garlic into the blender and blend that up, and also set that aside. Into the same blender, I'm going to blend in part of my okra, and I'm blending this into a very smooth paste. This is so that we can get it to draw very well, and also to enhance the flavor of the obolo. So it's not going to have just the taste of obolo, and it's also going to have the taste of okra in it. So I'm going to blend that into a smooth paste. As you can see, I've added water into the blender and blended that into a smooth paste, and this I'm also going to set aside. Now into a pot, I'm going to add my proteins, cow beef, cow tripe, and then I'm going to be adding the stockfish later on after I've cleaned it. Then to that, I'm going to add my blended pepper that I've blended. I'm going to be adding the blended onions and garlic, and also I'll be adding some seasoning cube, salt, and then I'm going to mix that up together and allow that to cook. I'm going to quickly mix blended obolo with palm oil, and then I'm going to put this on top of the cover of the pot of our steaming meat. I'm just going to mix this together and put that. This is how I melt my own obolo. Some people put this in directly into their stock base. Some people melt over the heat in a pot. But this is how I was taught. So I'm just going to mix this up, and I'm going to set it on top of the pot. You will see that later. While that is happening, I'm going to grate the other part of my okra. You can see me using a grater. I had to put this on a fast forward because, well, it took a while. So I'm just going to grate this with my grater. If you do not have a grater, you can use a knife and then just chop up your okra into small dice, yeah, but I prefer to use a grater. After I've done grating this, I'm going to also set that aside. I'm going to put in water into this okra and set it aside. You can see our obolo, it has melted, and I'm going to take it off the heat at this point, and then I'm going to check our proteins if they're getting soft, if they're almost there or not. At this point, I have checked our meat and it is about 70% ready. I'm still going to leave that in, and it's going to take time for it to be prepared. So to this, I'm going to add my stockfish. At this point, I'll add my stockfish. However, I didn't take record of when I put the stockfish in, but the stockfish is already in. So you can see the liquid has reduced drastically. And to this, I'm going to be adding my melted Abolo mix, and then I'm going to stir that very briefly, not too much. To this, I'm going to add my okra, the blended okra, the smooth blended okra. Remember, we have 2 okra that we did, so this is the smooth one and this is the first one to add. To that, I've added some dried bonga fish, and I'm just going to mix that up. Obviously, this pot is not going to be enough, so I'm going to switch to another pot in case you notice there is another pot. To this, I'm going to be adding some crayfish powder, more palm oil. I'm going to be adding more palm oil, but not too much that it begins to float on top of our Ogbono soup. You would see how it will look like at the end. So I'm just going to quickly transfer to another pot so that it can make stirring easy for me. At this point, we should be checking for the consistency. I do not know how you like your Ogbono soup, but I do not like it too runny and I do not like it too thick. So to that, I've added more palm oil, some crayfish seasoning, some uziza seeds, dried uziza seed. Now, this is why you should be watching my video to this point. There is always something I add that may not be among the ingredient list. I've also added some dried pepper. As always, I would advise that you always check your seasoning, check your salt level, check the heat level. Your tolerance of heat might be different from another person, so you need to check it. So to this, I'm adding some utazi leaf. It is optional, you don't have to add utazi leaf. I hear some people add uziza leaf, but I'm just adding utazi leaf. And then I've added more crayfish powder, and I'm mixing this up. And then I've added the other half of our okra, the grated okra. At this point, things are going to go very quickly, so I'm just going to allow this boil. If you realize I didn't bring out the meat, there was no point to bring out the meat because I needed the meat to continue cooking. And then it's also going to embrace this flavor very well. So our Abolo soup has come to a boil, and I had to transfer it to another gas. It wasn't heating up very quickly. So our okra/Abolo soup has boiled, and this is what it's looking like. I transferred for the portion to serve, and we'll be serving ours with fufu made from the scratch. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to make fufu from the scratch in the comfort of your own house. Now, you need to have a fridge or a freezer and constant light. You need to have a freezer and a constant light to achieve that fufu. Yes. So this is how we served our fufu. We served it with our Ogbono soup. What do you like to take your Ogbono soup with? Do you like fufu? Do you like pando? Do you like pounded yam, gari, semo, amala? What do you like? I'd like to hear in the comment section what you like to serve your soup with. So that's it, guys. This is literally everything about my okra/Ogbono soup. I'll just call it Ogbono soup. I'll call it Ogbono soup. It's not plain okra soup. It's Ogbono soup with some okra in it. If you have watched to this point, thank you for sticking around. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. Till next time, keep exploring. Bye.